Welcome to This Explainer. I'm so glad you're here, because today we're popping the hood on one of the most sophisticated recommendation systems ever built. I mean, we're talking about a system that literally shapes what billions of people see every single day. Yet for most of us, it's a complete black box. Well, today we're decoding the whole shebang.
All right, so let's just start with the sheer scale of the problem here. YouTube currently hosts well over 800 million videos. And, that number isn't just sitting still, it is growing at an absolutely wild rate. We're talking 500 new hours of content uploaded every single minute. Now take that literal mountain of content and combine it with 2.7 billion individual users, all with their own unique, hyper-specific tastes. So, when you pull out your phone and open the app, it has to decide what to show you, right? Instantly. The real question is, how on earth does it actually pull that off? How does it sift through a universe of 800 million videos and hand you a perfectly curated list in literal milliseconds?
Well, here's our roadmap for tracing that journey today. We'll start with the 800 million problem, then look at the two-stage funnel, the evolution of the algorithm, the metrics that actually matter most, and finally, the creator's challenge.
Let's jump right into part one, the 800 million problem. To really get this algorithm, you have to understand the crazy juggling act it's trying to pull off. It doesn't just have one simple goal. It operates on what engineers call multi-objective optimization, which is just a fancy way of saying it has to balance 5 completely different, sometimes totally conflicting goals, all at the exact same time. It wants to keep you, the viewer, happy, for sure, but it also needs to maximize revenue for creators so they keep making stuff. At the same time, it's got to maintain overall platform health, keep the whole place safe for the advertisers footing the bill, and ruthlessly enforce content compliance. It is a massive, high-stakes tightrope walk. Which brings us to part 2, the two-stage funnel.
The brilliant solution to this massive filtering nightmare was actually laid out in a 2019 Google research paper. They built this huge two-stage deep neural network. Step 1 is candidate generation. Basically, a neural network scans those 800 million videos and rapidly throws almost all of them out, narrowing the pool down to just a few hundred solid candidates for you. Then, step 2 kicks in, which is ranking. A second, way more complex neural network rigorously scores and orders those surviving videos based on how much it thinks you'll actually enjoy them.
Now, during that first candidate generation step, the network is hunting for content similar to what you already like, pulling in a bunch of diverse real-time signals. It's looking at your past watch and search history, sure, but it's also factoring in your physical location, the time of day, your language, the exact device in your hand, and broader demographic data. It's wildly personalized, and it all happens in the blink of an eye. Moving right along to part 3, the evolution of the algorithm. Because, the definition of what makes a piece of content good hasn't always been the same. Back before 2012, early YouTube optimized purely for clicks. If you clicked, the algorithm was thrilled. But the result was an absolute explosion of clickbait. So to fix that, in 2012, they pivoted to watch time, rewarding videos that actually kept you watching. But there was a catch there too. Maximizing pure watch time accidentally rewarded outrage and super extreme content. So from 2016 onward, the system shifted again, this time aligning with viewer satisfaction, using actual human quality raters and something called reinforcement learning with human feedback, or RLHF. Fun fact, that's actually very similar to how modern AI like ChatGPT is trained today. This pivot to satisfaction was huge because it directly tackled what researchers call the rabbit hole problem. Studies were showing that the old recommendation system could subtly push users toward increasingly extreme content, where every single recommendation was just a little more intense than the last. To combat this, specific interventions had to be hard-coded in. They literally programmed the system to inject content breaks and force topic diversification, so you don't just endlessly spiral down one single ideological or topical path.
All right, part 4, the metrics that really matter most.
So how does the modern algorithm actually score that satisfaction during the ranking stage we talked about? Well, click-through rate, or CTR, and average view duration, AVD, are the absolute heavyweights here. If a video gets a ton of clicks, but people bail after 5 seconds, high CTR, low AVD, the system aggressively penalizes it. It knows the thumbnail was a total bait and switch. But if a video has a balanced click-through rate and a high average view duration, the system rewards it, predicting high overall user satisfaction. But wait, it is not just about positive stuff like saves, comments, or new subscribers. The algorithm heavily weighs negative signals too. Clicking not interested, skipping past things, scrubbing videos from your watch history, or bailing in the first few seconds, these are incredibly powerful data points. The machine is constantly learning what you do not want to see, just as much as what you do want.
And here's a wild detail. Where you are in the app changes everything. This is exactly why your experience feels so dynamic. Each surface relies on a totally different primary algorithm. On the homepage, pure personalization. It is all about you. In search, it's query relevance weighted, meaning it just wants to answer your specific question. But over in the suggested sidebar, the focus flips to content pairing. It's trying to find the absolute perfect follow-up to the exact thing you're currently watching.
And finally, Part 5, the Creator's Challenge.
So how does a brand new creator even survive this incredibly complex machine? Well, they face the classic cold start problem. Since new channels don't have any historical user data, the algorithm literally doesn't know who to show their videos to. So it has to test them on small, targeted audiences first. It puts the video in front of a handful of people and just watches. If that test group clicks and stays, the algorithm gathers enough ranking data to push it out wider. If they ignore it, the video basically stops dead in its tracks.
Now, obviously, creators can't just log into Google servers and tweak the neural network's underlying code, but they can absolutely control specific inputs to feed the machine exactly what it craves. We're talking a captivating title and thumbnail to drive that click-through rate, genuinely good content to boost audience retention, and clear calls to action to prompt engagement, which sends those glorious positive satisfaction signals right back into the loop. But let's turn this around for a second. Think about your own role in this massive system. Every single skip, every click, every minute you watch, every survey you answer, you are actively shaping your own personal universe out of those 800 million videos. You're essentially programming your own algorithm every time you open the app. Now that you understand the actual mechanics of this incredible machine, hit subscribe to see how we put them into action on this channel to bring you the best explainers possible. But as you go about the rest of your day, I want to leave you with this. What are your daily viewing habits actually teaching the system? Are you training it to show you enriching, valuable content, or are you just passively feeding it junk food? Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.